Hey guys, Dr. Stephanie here, and today we're talking about the hip flexors. So what are the hip flexors? They are these muscles right in the front of your hip, and they're responsible for bringing your knee up towards the ceiling or towards your chest. And they're really important muscles because we use them pretty much in everything we do, especially with walking. Every time you take a step forward, your hip flexor works. Every time you walk up the stairs, you're having to use your hip flexor. So if those muscles are weak, we're more likely to have pain and tightness and discomfort, and possibly it could lead to injury. So it's really important to strengthen those hip flexors. So we're gonna go over 5 hip flexor strengthening exercises today. And these are things you can do several times a week, maybe at least every other day, to really build strength in those hip flexors so that you can move around better, so that you can feel better. I know these muscles tend to feel tight a lot, especially if you sit a lot, or if you do a lot of running, or if you do a lot of walking up and down stairs. So these exercises can really build that strength and reduce any discomfort that you have. So the first exercise, we're gonna grab a band and place this band around your feet. And you can just stand up and do this. If you need to hold on to something, you can, as always. But if you don't need to, that's great. Or if you just need a little balance, maybe you can just rest your hand on the wall. Go ahead and do that. So this first one is just a march. So you're just gonna lift one knee up towards your chest and then the other knee. You're just gonna go back and forth like this. Back and forth. Try not to rock side to side too much because it's kind of have a tendency to rock back and forth. Try to just lift one, step down, kind of rock a little bit to the side, and then lift the other one. Lift your knee as high as you can, and then back down. Lift and back down. The goal is to do 2 or 3 sets of 10. So you want to do about 10, take a little rest. I know a lot of people have questions like, why can't I just do 20 or 30? But it's good to let your muscles rest. And also if you can just go 20 to 30 straight through, the exercise is probably too easy. So if you do these and you're like, you get to 10, you're like, oh man, that's easy. You probably need a stronger resistance band. So you can get a whole set of resistance bands, start from the lightest one, work your way up to the heaviest one. And then you can go into some different exercises if this exercise ends up being too easy. But 2 or 3 sets of 10. And then we're gonna go ahead and sit down on the floor. For this next exercise, we don't need any equipment. You're just going to bring one foot up towards you, bend your knee, kind of hold on to that leg, and we're gonna do what's called a straight leg raise. So you wanna keep this other leg straight, kind of push your knee down into the ground a little bit, keep that leg straight. And then you're just gonna lift your leg up and then back down slowly. So lift up and back down slowly. Going back down slowly is super important because if you just let your leg drop, then you're not really using your muscles. So you wanna lift it up as high as you can and back down slowly. Lift up, back down slowly. Again, you wanna try to do about 10 and then switch legs. Keep this knee straight. Lift up, back down slowly. Again, you want to do about 10, and then you can repeat that 2 or 3 times. Okay, so for the next one, this one's a little bit more challenging. So if you're not ready for this one, that's totally okay. So you're gonna keep your legs out straight, hands behind you like this. You're gonna push up into what I call a reverse plank. So you want your body to be straight in line, and from here, you're gonna bring one knee up towards your chest, and then the other knee. So like I said, this one's a little bit tougher. So if you can do it, you may not even be able to get to 10. Do as many as you can, up to 10, and then come down and rest. And then if it wasn't too difficult, maybe you could do 6 or 8, then try to do another set or 2. If it was super difficult, but you were able to do some, just start with that and move on to the next exercise. And then as you get stronger, you get better at that exercise, you can add more repetitions. But you're just lifting up, and then knee to chest, knee to chest. To make this more challenging, you can actually add a band around your feet. But start with that way, and then once that gets a little bit easier or less challenging, then you can add a band. Okay, for the next 2, we're gonna lie on our back. So we're gonna add the band for this one, and we're gonna put it around our thighs, right above our knees here, and then lie flat on your back, knees bent, feet on the floor. So for this one, we're gonna do a bridge. So lift your hips up like this, and then lift one knee up, and the other knee up. So we're doing a march in a bridge position. So we're just lifting, lifting, lifting. And the goal is to maintain this bridge position. So you don't want your hips to drop here. You want to keep them up in line. If you feel like they're dropping at any point, just go down, take a rest, and then restart. So you want to do about 10 here. Just lifting that knee up, and then come back down, rest, and repeat that 2 or 3 times. Okay, I'm gonna sit up to take this band off, and then we're gonna lie down on our back again. Okay, so for the last exercise, we're going to do another bridge, but for this one, you're going to, we'll come up into a bridge like this, straighten one leg, stay in this bridge position, and lift this leg up and back down. So it's a straight leg raise, but in a bridge position. Again, a little bit more challenging, but you want to try to do 10, and then you can actually rest, come back up, and then do the same thing on the other side. Trying to pull your toes back towards you, keeping that knee as straight as you can, working on that straight leg raise. So 10, and then you'll repeat 2 or 3 sets on each side. So all of those exercises really focus on strengthening those hip flexors and building up that strength so that you can reduce any pain or tightness in there and hopefully get that area feeling a little bit better. It also helps you move better, like I said, because when we're walking or running or going upstairs or even sitting down and standing up out of a chair, we're using those hip flexors. So we want them functioning at their highest capacity. So the stronger they are, the better you'll feel, the better you'll be able to move. So try doing those several times a week or every other day. And hopefully that makes your hip flexors feel a little bit better.